Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Jenny and we are here at Craft Creations. So we're finally, every time I try to do it, the other dogs go crazy. So anyway, we're back to do the basket. Yay! Okay, so I want to show you. So the die is adorable. I love it. I love everything about it. I will suggest a few things. Make sure you use 110, if not heavier, cardstock, because you really want this to be as sturdy as possible, especially if you're going to fill it up. If you're not filling it up and you just want it as decoration on your desk, that's fine. Use whatever you want. But if you want to fill it up and have it, be sturdy, definitely suggest heavy cardstock. Now, I got very carried away, and in the beginning, I did it correctly. So as you see, I put the grass on the inside, and then I sandwiched it so that it would, I could put the eggs in the middle. But then I got a little too carried away and put the grass, I glued it on the outside, which looks very stupid. Like, why? Again, I got carried away. So we're going to try not to get carried away when we do this one, and we'll do it correctly. And I am going to do front and back as far as decorating. So let's just get into this and let's make a basket. Okay. All right. So I went ahead and I cut out all of my pieces already. I hope that's okay. If that bothers anybody, just let me know in the comment section if you want to see me cut out the die cuts. I'm not sure if that's really necessary, but if you want to see it, let me know and I will try, because my machine is over there on a table, and to, kind of put the camera all over the place may be a pain in the butt, but I will give it a try if that's what you guys want. So I didn't show you. This is the set, the die set that you get. I got it from Aliexpress Kscraft. So you need 2 pieces of this cut out. Oh, and the other thing I suggest too is doing a double-sided piece of paper, unless you want to do 2 pieces and then glue them together. The reason why I suggest that is because, as you see, you can really see the print of this one, and then the back is a really pretty, just like orangey cream, which is nice. And here's the problem. So I'm making a mess. Everything is falling. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay. Sorry. So as you see, this is a very, very, very light green, and there is a print on it, but it's so faint. And then the back, well, there's part of the print, but the back piece is all white. And when you look at it, it just, I don't know. Personally, I think it's better to do a double-side printed paper. If you can. If you can't, no big deal. And if you don't like it, then that's fine too. You could do it any way you want, but that's just my suggestion. So anyway, you're going to need 2 pieces of this one. Okay. Then these are the side pieces. So that's this die right here. This one you need 2. This is your bottom. And then, so you only need 1 of those. And then this one is your layering piece for the bottom. Now, you can do this in a couple of ways. I chose to do foam on the bottom. I don't really know why I did that. Now, I'm also putting the print that matches the basket on the outside. I'm putting it on the outside. So when we get to that, I'll show you. So when you look down into the basket like this one, I did it here too, but I just didn't use foam. I just did it flat. And I guess it's really just your preference. You don't have to do that way, but I chose to do it this way. So basically you're going to see the peach, but when you look down, you'll also see the printed part on the bottom when you take everything out. Does that make sense? So when it's just sitting there empty, you have something to look at. So real quick recap: 2, 2, 1, and then however you want to do your decorative piece, if you want to do it at all. And then honestly, this part, the grass, and this is what this cuts out, that's going to be preference. So if you want a bunch of grass, cut them out a bunch of times. If not, then just cut out 1 or 2. Okay, so that's the die pieces and what you'll need. Oh, and then also these are for the decorative pieces. So as you see, I cut out 2 bows because I'm going to decorate on both sides. So I need a bow for here and then a bow for this one. So I would do 2 bows. These are to make the eggs. And if you can see over here, I made them in colors that I think will go with this print. I did cut these out. I'm probably not going to use them, but I did cut them out so that you could see that I cut everything out and how they cut. And my pieces cut beautifully. So you know, the die is awesome. I've had no issue with it. So yeah, so that's the die set. Again, Kscraft at Aliexpress. And now let's start putting it together. So we're going to put these aside with these pieces and make some room. Sorry. Put those over there and then we'll get started. So I think what we should probably do first is add on our sides this way. So what you're going to want to do is when you put them together, this is going to go to here and it's going to glue on, and then the other side, and then your side pieces will go like this. So let's do that. I am going to, and again, depending on what side you want in or out is where you're going to score it. So if you, and what I mean by that, okay, so if you want this color on the inside, then you're going to have to fold it the other way. Does that make sense? So I want mine facing out. I want them all going in the same direction and everything have the same print. So I'm just going to put some glue, or a lot of glue in this case, because we all know how I get with my glue. That's not changed. Then you just want to line it up the best that you can. I do like using wet glue here, honestly, for the simple fact that if I need to change it, I can. I have that wiggle room to move it around, replace it if I need to, because once you use the tape and like you stick it down, that's it. You're not going to easily be able to move anything. So that looks good, right? Okay, and then if you want to just, you know, make sure, take your bone folder and just kind of smush it in a little bit harder so that you know that it's grabbing and taking and all that good stuff. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And I like to have everything on the inside, so like all of these things, like all the teeth that we have to glue down and glue together, won't be on the outside and won't look messy, if that makes sense. I think it's a cleaner look. Now you're still going to see it on the inside, but you're not going to, it's not going to be as noticeable, I think, personally, you know, because you're going to decorate it and then you're going to have all your goodies that you make inside of it. And what I mean by that, like, see where, I don't know if you could see it. Let me stand up. Okay, so you can't really see it with this one. You'll see it with the next one, but see how the teeth, you could see that on the inside. So again, I think it's a cleaner look if it's here instead of on the outside, because you'll definitely see it on the outside. So, but again, it's yours. So however you want to do it is absolutely fine. Okay, so now you have your side. Just check here, make sure everything is lined up. You're good to go. Nothing is over or hanging out. And then obviously you want to score where you can. So now I'm going to do this part. Okay. So I just want to make sure that I'm in frame. I'm going to do it this way so that I could see what I'm doing. And again, I want these pieces on the inside, not the outside. So I'm just going to run some glue on all of these pieces just to make sure we have some good coverage. The good thing is it won't dry that fast. I mean, it's going to dry fast, but not that fast. So again, you want to just line it up the best you can. I am going to fold these in just so they don't get in the way, and I don't, oh, I did this wrong. Did you see what I did? I glued it. Son of a gun. I glued it on the wrong side. Oh my Lord. I glued it on the wrong side. Damn it. So we're just going to flip this over and try again. All right, so we'll put the glue where it needs to be on the correct side. And this happens to me all the time, guys. This has nothing to do with the fact that I am doing a tutorial on camera. It has everything to do with the fact that I'm a ding-dang. Ding-dangy-dong. All right. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's fold that down. And then again, we're going to try to line it up the best that we can. So that... Now, we don't want it hanging over too much, right? Like, we don't want those pieces coming out of the holy ones. So we are going to gently... Now, I'm not pushing down hard because I don't want it to stick too much. Like, yeah, see, that's up too high. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm just going to do it this way. I am going to put it on the floor, the best, well, not the floor, the mat, the best I can without getting, okay, like so. And then I'll show you what just happened. I don't know if you saw it, but before I stuck these all the way down like I am right now, I just did it a very little bit because you see the teeth here. When I first did it, they were sticking up over, so it was like this. How do I show you this? So you see how the teeth are coming up and you can see them in the hold part? Okay, that's what you don't want. So I looked, I saw, it didn't look right, so I pushed it down a little, and now I want to stick it down and get it to stick to the basket, paper to paper. So when I do put it up, you don't see any of that. It's all good. I hope that makes sense because I don't know how else to explain it. And there is a little lip right here, but it's okay because it's not gonna stop it from, you know, sitting flat, if that makes sense. And I'll show you when we're done. Okay, so we want to do the same thing with this side. So we're going to take it and we're going to glue our pieces. And again, you don't need a ton of glue, you just need a little bit, but I am a glue, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. So I use way more than I need. I don't know why. I've done this often, I guess, since I started crafting. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to try to line it up the best I can, like I did the other one. And I'm going to gently and slightly, I don't know if that's even a flipping word. All right, so we're going to do it like this. Okay, so I don't see any sticking out, which is wonderful. So I'm going to take this and I am going to put it that way. And then I'm going to bring it down and then push it in. Does that make sense? Okay. And the end ones may not stick at all, and that's okay because you can get them when we stick it on to turn it up, if that makes any sense. All right, so I think that's good. And yeah, they'll both stay up. Now again, there's no like lip on this side, but there's such a slight one on that side. I don't think it'll make a difference. If it does, we'll fix it, but if it doesn't, we won't. Okay, so now this is where you just kind of want to get a little bit of a bend, not much, but just gently take it and kind of bend it so that it'll bend to the basket, if that makes sense. Okay, so what I do suggest, I don't suggest that you do one side and then the other. I think the way I did it with that one is I did like one side here and then I came around and did this side and then went and did the other side. So that's what we're going to try. And again, you want the glue on the outside part of these because they're going to be glued this way. So we will take our glue And again, you don't need a lot, but you do need like a very slight cover of the whole thing. So we will just glue all this. I really hope I'm in frame and that you could see what I'm doing. All right. So now this is going to be the hard part for me because I have to stay in frame. So, all right. So I think the best way to do this is kind of like how I'm doing it. So let it sit for a minute and grip, like grip the paper. Like so. There we go. Okay. And then kind of reach behind. Even if you can just get one to stick, and then like this part you can kind of push out with your other finger. There we go. So if you get the one to stick, then you can work with the rest of them real quick, if that makes any sense. And then here you can push that in and up. Because again, you want to follow the groove of the basket. So it's like, I don't know if this makes sense, but it kind of goes in and then up. So you're going this way. So that's the way you want the paper to follow. Okay. And then once you have that, if you need to push it back at all, you can do that here before you push down. So like as you're pushing down to get this to hold, you know, you just push it back a little so you don't have that huge gap on the side. And this looks pretty good. Now here I could push it in just a tad bit. Again, you don't have to go crazy, and it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Like, that's the best part about handmade, is that nothing has to be perfect. But I think this is as close as I'm going to be able to get it. So, you know what? Let me just put a little bit more glue in those spots, because I think with all of the rubbing and moving, I kind of rubbed all the glue off. But no big deal. So, and again, you can also put it down this way and just bend it to where you need it to go. And then again, if you can get a grip on one or two of them, then you can go back and do the rest, if that makes sense. So now I'm just taking my bone folder and I am pushing it into the paper. So it's, you know, grabbing paper to paper, which is good. That's what you need it to do. And then I'm going to go in with my finger. And I should have looked at it before I did this, but I think it was pretty good. So I don't think oh, no, look, see, it's good. Again, not absolutely perfect, but as close as I'm going to get it. So then, yes, there's a little tiny lip right here, but it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. And then you just take it and you press it. So there you go. And that's what you do for all of them. So instead of gluing it, you know, one side and then have to go back and do the other one, I like to do, instead of doing the whole thing,